find a reasonable way of addressing the issue within the Constitution, within the law, but look at the facts. Where do these people who are in formal settlement coming from? Where is their land? Is it a lie that the land was taken? But part of the reason I made the suggestion last time that you need to have a powerful legal firm that must address this issue. If it means changing certain things, that's what we must for our lives. Because we are dying because of poverty. There are many things that happen to us. It's a critical matter from my point of view. And I will urge that talk to your black intelligentsia to do research and think and innovate. How do we deal with this question so that we can address poverty? No need to be shy about it. Whether you are keeping quiet, you are undermined, you are named, you are given names every day. Whether you try to make yourself nice, we are not looked at as a nice person, I look at it as stupid, as every other thing. One of the things that you need to deal with properly as traditional leaders is this one. But you need to do it in an organized fashion. Legal, within the Constitution, but raise the issues properly so that we can address the issue of poverty, inequality. Facts, I think, are coming up to show, as the claims are made, that we need to do something. As I said last time, that there are issues if we have not resolved, history will blame us. That when we had the opportunity to correct the wrongs, we did not. Because if we don't deal with this question, I can tell you, generations to come will be in poverty. They will be not equal to others. They will be unemployed. I think we have an opportunity to do so. My view is that even the reconstruction of the organization of the traditional leaders into the houses, etc., should have meaning by addressing the issues that affected your people. Not fight, because the problems that people make too much noise, fight, complain, raise the issues properly. But fundamentally, that is the critical point we need to do. To correct the wrongs is not wrong, it's correct. I mean, there are many issues that go with this, which I don't want to go into. South Africa is said to be the rich country in minerals, but it has the poorest of the people in poverty who own absolutely nothing. But, and I'm not divorcing this from the struggle. Reasons we fought was to correct the wrongs, to liberate ourselves. The question that faces us today is freedom complete? When I talk to other people, I explain this thing, and when I want to explain it here, for whatever it is worth, and people can call me names, fine. As an African, I've been called names since I was born. My father, my mother, my grandfather. I'm not worried about it. There are three basic things if we talk about a state that relates to power. It's a political power. It's one of the pillars of the state. It's economic power. The second pillar of the state is security power. Do we have this? We don't. Can we then rest and say everything is done? Therefore, when we talk about black industrialists, black economic empowerment, we are dealing with one pillar of the state. You are in China, you are in Brazil, you are in everywhere. The majority of the people, of the citizens of those countries are in control of their economy. Are you in control of your economy? Not. And we can't therefore rest. We can't also fight among ourselves. We need to unite so that we can accomplish these. Because if you don't have, you are not in control of the economy, you are not in control of your country. I must not go any further because I've got Nkandla economy. People are going to think I'm now talking Nkandla economy. But the Nkandla economy is very right. You know how simple it is. If you're a neighbor, as economy, you need to help your neighbor. It's not like hidden. Lima ube nembewu, ungalambuza udla imbewu. That's the simple economy. I'm saying this because we can't say as traditional leaders, we don't know what to do. There is a lot to do. We need, when we meet like this, to look at the fundamental issues that affect the black person in this country. We cannot be shy about it. Because it is a black person who was dispossessed of the land, therefore taken political power, economic power, security power. Now, if we don't correct it now, we hope that it will be corrected by generations to come. They will ask a question why they didn't do it when they had the opportunity to do so. But I'm merely emphasizing this point because I feel very strong about the land question. We have made attempts, taken steps, but we still need to sit down and say what else we need to do before we tell the misery of each and every one of us what challenges we have faced. It's not important. It's to say, how do we solve the problems going forward? That's a critical point. Chairperson, this year, we mark several anniversaries which indicate the journey we have traveled on the road to freedom and democracy. These include the 40th anniversary of the 16th June 1976 student uprising, the 60th anniversary of the Women's March to the Union Buildings, the 20th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution of the Republic by former President Nelson Mandela. The year 2016 is also the centenary of the University of Fort Hare. Government will organize several events to mark these important milestones. These milestones remind us of where we come from and the journey we have traveled. To further cement our history and ensure that it is preserved, we are continuing with the establishment of a new heritage landscape for the country. We have identified a number of activities in this regard. This includes identifying historic sites, individuals, and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to our liberation struggle and history, and to the development of our cultural values. The identified sites are being upgraded and declared national heritage sites and will be maintained by the state the task of grading and declaring these places is by the South African Heritage Resource Agency. Through the upgrading and declaration of these historic sites, we will ensure a more representative and inclusive South African history and heritage. More importantly, this will also contribute towards shared values and a common national identity in the country. Furthermore, the building and maintenance of new monuments and historic sites has a greater potential to stimulate economic activity and create much needed jobs in communities where these sites are located. These sites will also contribute towards cultural tourism, both domestic and international. I will mention just a few of the sites. The Department of Arts and Culture is in partnership with the National Heritage Monument Company is conceptualizing a national heritage monument which will include 400 life-size statues of heroes and heroines to be stationed at Fountains Valley in Tshwane. 59 of the 400 statues have been completed from 2012 and were launched at Goenkloof Nature Reserve on the 15th September 2015. The renovations of the homestead of President O.R. Tambo and the upgrading of the Kananda Heritage Site started in 2012 as the first phase is complete. The Garden of Remembrance, as well as the Interpretive Center, which are second phase components as part of the O.R. Tambo Heritage Route in Bizana, Eastern Cape, are in the construction phase. The John Langalibalele Dube gravesite upgrade and memorial in Durban was unveiled as phase 1, honoring the founding president of the African National Congress. Phase 2, priority elements, including an amphitheater access, driveway, and parking for the J.L. Dube project, are in the construction phase, scheduled for completion in 2016. This project is part of the Inanda Heritage Route, which comprises sites associated with a number of prominent sites, people, and events. The Inguza Hill Museum, and you must have heard me nicely, I'm saying Inguza. That's how it is called. Don't call it wrongly. Where the Pondos fought, which provides the narrative of the historic and courageous Pondo Revolt of 1960 is under construction. The Bambata statue in Greytown is completed, honoring the hero of the poll tax revolt in 1906. The Wesleyan Church in Farhoek, where the African National Congress was founded, has been renovated, and the exhibition content and design has been presented to stakeholders for approval before installation. Government is going to honor of the great heroes of the struggle for liberation, the late president of the United Democratic Front, Mr. Archie Gumede, through the erection of a statue. This courageous freedom fighter deserves such an honor. Our youth and future generations must know and understand the story of our struggle for liberation through visiting sites such as where this statue will be situated. We will also be building monuments to mark painful periods in our history. The Matola Monument and Interpretive Center is completed and was unveiled by the two heads of state of the Republic of South Africa and Mozambique on the 11th September 2015, honoring the freedom fighters who lost their lives in the hands of the brutal apartheid defense force when it raided Mozambique in 1981. The notorious flag pass, where freedom fighters were brutally murdered by the apartheid regime, will be developed into a heritage site. Compatriots and esteemed leaders of our people, it is often difficult to appreciate the progress that has been made when a country is facing a difficult economic environment, such as the one we are currently facing. Just over 2 decades ago, the prospect of a democratic South Africa, where all its citizens live in peace and freedom, looked like a pipe dream. Working together, we pulled our land back from the brink of a civil war. We are building a South Africa today where all of our people will live together in peace and freedom. I am convinced that working together, again, we can overcome the economic headwinds we face. Let us work together to promote our country and market its many positive attributes among its people. Sadly, there are those who want our people to believe that they have not achieved anything since 1994. That is not true. South Africans have consolidated democracy and have begun to build a better life for all, especially the poor, through many programs of government since 1994. Our country is a success story, particularly if you compare it with other countries in 20 years of freedom, we have a lot to show, and we have plans to move forward. We need to recognize that while working hard to fix the problems that exist, which exist in all developing countries, we are confident that we know the route, we also know our destination, and we know where we took off. Chairperson, we thank traditional leaders for their contribution to South Africa's success. Chair, once again, I'm looking forward to a debate. I've raised issues that other people don't want to be raised. And if I don't raise them, I would not be an African. I've raised them because I'm an African. And I don't apologize for being an African. I can't apologize for my oppression and the struggle that has taken place. Never, no matter what name I may be called, I will forge forward, because I believe we must reach a prosperous South Africa in our lifetime. Working together, let us move this beautiful country forward. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Honorable President. Ngamalala, Siyabonga Msholozi. Thank you very much indeed. I must highlight that we have noted with concern also the judgment on IEC, and that we are still studying the judgment, and thereafter we may consider applying to be friends of the courts. We're doing this to protect our communities, constitutional rights of our communities to vote, because Nkosi Mahlangu tuhlala emva kwemvula. Nkosi ke kana uthi uhlala ku PO box. So angiboni ukuthi bazawuvota. So we will pronounce during the debate. Also wish to confirm that the Honorable President's speech will be debated on the 22nd of March 2016 in Pretoria, Tshwane Metro Chambers, starting at 10 o'clock, and that you are all invited to the debate of the President's speech. Let me also acknowledge the following dignitaries who have blessed our occasion, or graced our occasion. Premier Masuele of Eastern Cape, Deputy Minister of State Security, May Ellen Molekane, Dr. MEC in KZN, Mama Nomsa Dube, the Kokta MEC in the Eastern Cape, MEC Kasa, Inkosi Mandla Mandela, as well Veli, Dr. Mutseha of the Kara Heritage, also MP, Chairperson of the National Cohesion Council, Dr. Lifriel, Executive Mayor of Mopani District, Your Worship, Councillor Mushwana, and representative of the World Vision South Africa. Thank you for blessing, for gracing this occasion. You are most welcome. May I now make the following announcements: that the procession will now leave the chamber for a photo session in front of the National Assembly new wing, and that lunch will be served at the National Assembly restaurant. We have now come to the conclusion of this session, and this house is adjourned until further notice. Kangang, Pula, Ralewo.
Wena mabito asabele nabito lakuthula kweAfrika. Imisebenzi yakho lemihle ibonakale ngekusabalala kweSANDF eAfrika yonkana. Tingabisa ta gijima tayotshela bonina ukuthi ukuthula kufikile. Inkunzi lemanceba ihlatshelwa eAfrika ifundisa abantu nebantwana baseAfrika ukuthi ukuthula nekuphumelela kukini maAfrika. Donsa njalo ke inkunzi lemanceba Zuma ncamalala.